So let's talk about that. So the first step we can do is establish a routine or new normal. So what I mean by that? If you can start thinking about keeping yourself busy, making sure you sleep 8 hours a day, make sure you have a structure, write it down on a whiteboard, your routine. So that way, earlier you are going to work. Let's say you work and now you're working from home, keep that 9 to 5 set up for work. And then, make sure you take breaks in between for lunch, like you will do at work, and you chat with your colleagues in your 9 to 5. Make sure you Skype or WhatsApp your colleague or whatever method, Zoom or team meetings you have to, keep that routine going. Make sure you eat well too. That's part of your new normal routine. Eating has a profound effect on how you feel. If you eat well, let's say a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of whole grains, Mediterranean diet, it will have profound effect on your microbiome, on your skin, on your inside your gut, and that changes how you think as well. So there is a huge data about how you eat affects your thinking. And if you eat more junk food, it causes more changes in your microbiome and causes more stress. If you eat more whole grains, beans, things like that, brown rice, quinoa, fruits and vegetables, diet rich in fish, you will see that you'll be thinking more positive as well. So, that's new normal. So you need to have a good structure in your nutrition. Sleep is very important. No matter how much immune boosting medications or supplements you take, like vitamin C or any other medications, but you will see that it won't help you if you don't get good sleep. So sleeping 8 hours or whatever your normal is critical as part of your, establishing a routine or new normal. So that is critical. What's the next step? Engaging in regular vigorous exercise. It sounds very simple, and it is simple, but if you do it regularly, you will see that you will be more energetic, you'll be more positive in your thinking. And it could be just a Zumba, it could be a Pilates, it could be an online and Mahajan Medical Center. If you go to your YouTube channel, do subscribe. And this is going live on YouTube channel as well. So if you have friends who go to YouTube channel, do mention to share and subscribe and like our YouTube. And also, if you can hear me well, please give me a thumbs up today. And if you find our information useful, give us some love on Facebook. If you're on Facebook or if you're on Periscope, give us love there. And if you're on YouTube, give us likes. So please give us likes, so that adds as a fuel for me to keep researching and bringing you topics which could be useful to you. So do give us love today and right now, and give me some wows so I can keep adding some fuel. Thank you for giving all those likes. I appreciate that. So will continue. I was thinking of shutting down because you didn't give me enough likes. All right. So what's the next step? Engage in regular vigorous exercise. So the goal is to get 30 minutes of brisk walking and get your heart rate up. Could be brisk walking, as I said, could be Zumba, could be Pilates, anything, just biking, whatever makes you stick to a routine. Could be playing with your kids, could be going out in the park and hitting a soccer ball, could be playing tennis, anything, 30 minutes. And, the good thing is the outdoor, you don't get as much transmission of the coronavirus. So, that is important to bear in mind, that outdoor is safe in terms of, and that leads to our next point, which is going outdoors. The outdoors, a lot of studies have shown if you camp for 1 week, you can reset your clock without the distractions of, texting and social media. It will help you sleep better. If you're a camper, go out camping. If you have access to a beach, go out to a beach. In Florida, we're blessed with beautiful beaches. So use those. I think we use them when the guests come to our town. We should use it ourselves to watch sunset, go out. Fantastic effect on our immune system. So that's important. What's the next thing we can do? We talked about vigorous exercise. We talked about new normal routine. Let's go to the next step. Find ways to reach out. So what I mean by that? So, right now we are in a tight bubble. You can text your loved one, hey, I love you, just a couple of times a day. You can go on Skype with your mom and dad. Maybe your neighbor is, elderly and they need some help with grocery. Maybe reach out to them, and say hello to them, knock on their door, keep the 6 feet distance, use your mask. But say, hey, do you need anything? Just we're all in this together as a community. So if you reach out to your fellow human beings and your family and friends in different ways, WhatsApp, make a group and chat regularly. You can make a Zoom meeting. I do that every Saturday with my siblings, and I do with my parents. So anything which you were doing before, you should continue doing and do more, and use the technology. Zoom is fantastic. Team, if you're at office, Teams are good, but WhatsApp, you can do video chat on WhatsApp. People who have family outside United States, they are very familiar with WhatsApp. Is free, and you can do a group chat. So reaching out, or you can write an old-fashioned letter. I think it's very therapeutic and very lovely to get a letter from your loved one. So that's what I'll definitely recommend. Let's see who is joining us. Ray Davis, our famous organizer. He does a great job with all the retired people from Ford and Detroit or Michigan folks who UAW. And Ray does a good job in organizing them, providing them benefits. So thank you, Ray, for keep doing what you're doing for your community. We got Beverly there. She is always enjoys our talks. Thank you, Beverly, for your kind words. We got Desiree there, and she's saying thank you for my talk. And Janice, our old friend, she moved away, and we always miss Janice. She's a fantastic supporter of our practice. So thank you, Janice, for tuning in. All right, so let's go back to finding ways to reach out. We talked about that. So let's go to the next topic, which can help you relax. And so we're covering host of different techniques to cope with the mental health epidemic. And trust me, what I research, it's not looking good in terms of what's coming. There's a tsunami of mental health issues coming with the post-traumatic stress in healthcare workers and people who are isolating themselves. And, still there's no end to sight. The vaccine is a year away, God willing, and hopefully it's effective. So, we hardly 5% prevalence in Pinellas County. By the way, I just read data today in Pinellas County. So the good news, the ICU admissions are less for COVID-19 in Pinellas County. The bad news, there's still a lot of new cases in the younger population. So I went to the farmer's market, and I saw a lot of folks without the mask. I went to Publix and I saw a lot of folks without the mask. I think that's a serious no-no. The young folks get it. Fortunately, with COVID-19, as you know, they're not going to get the death or morbidity or end up in ICU. Is the older folks, when they go home and with their parents, with their grandparents, when they interact and they could be asymptomatic. And WHO, walked back on their words about asymptomatic, which I didn't agree when they said asymptomatic people does not spread the COVID-19. The CDC was very emphatic. Yes, the asymptomatic patient do spread the COVID-19. So the younger folks, they're going to be asymptomatic. They are the one, who will do okay. But, how they're going to live with the guilt of their parents or the grandparent getting it and they ending up in ICU. So for the younger folks who are listening, please wear a mask, not for yourself, but for your grandparents and your parents' sake. So please don't let your guard down. The new cases are still happening in Pinellas County. So let's keep doing what we were doing earlier. It's not changed just because the phase 1 or phase 2 is happening, we got to be on our lookout. So coming back to the tricks, we're teaching you how to cope with mental health issues. So we talked about, let's just do a quick recap. We talked about establishing a new routine, which includes, eating better, sleeping better. And then we talked about regular exercise, get your heart rate up for at least 30 minutes, high intensity interval training. If you want to, you can go to a Mahajan Medical Center YouTube channel. We put some beautiful videos with our nurse practitioner, Jordan. She's a good trainer, and we're going to, in fact, get her on our show next time, and she's going to give you some exercise tips as well. So tune in for that with the next show. And then we talked about find ways to reaching out with Zoom, with FaceTime, with WhatsApp or any other technology, or texting or writing your old style lovely handwritten letters. So let's talk about the next thing. Connect with those who are self-isolating. We touched on that. Knock on your neighbors if they need help with grocery, or just say hello and they are missing the human contact. So it's important that we do that on a regular basis. Let's see, the next piece up is manage your news consumption. I think that's important, that we're getting so much thrown at us for last few months in terms of the data. I just wanted to check that you can hear me well. Give me some love, give me some thumbs up, give me some likes if you can hear me well, and our sound quality is good, so I know that it's happening. Oh, okay, thank you for letting me know. Give me some hearts, give me some wows, and please share our podcast with your friends and family, and do a watch party if you can. All right, so the next step we were talking about is manage your news consumption. So we've been thrown news through a lot of media, and some of it is repetition, and some of it is fake news. So I think, the amount of consumption you need to reduce, not more than 20-25 minutes a day. Maybe a site like CDC or Pinellas County Health Department, CDC is good, or any other newspaper source. Go there, consume it, and then don't go back looking at different feeds coming on your Facebook or any other way you consume your news, because that makes you more anxious. That's a lot of anxiety which comes with, as if it's happening in your backyard, and, you don't want that. You want it to be based on what you want to consume, not everyone forcing it on you. So that's, I think, is an important point, that consume less of the news media. All right, so what's the next tip we can provide you? So the next tip is engage in a hobby or find something absorbing to do. I think that's obvious. If you can do something like gardening, or something new which you've been wanting to do and you didn't have time, now you're in a bubble and you have more time. Learn a language. There are a lot of free apps to learn a language, learn musical instrument like piano, or anything. Give me a comment if you are suffering from any anxiety or any issues with COVID-19. Let me do a polling of the people who are listening, that how many of you are having issues. Put in the comment section, and then I'll see how many of my listeners are going through what I've seen in my patient population going through. So yes, hobbies and activities which keeps you absorbed and get you more skills. If you are working from home and you need certification in Microsoft, or any other certification, a lot of universities have moved to online, and they can provide you certification. So that's a great time to enhance your skills. So do that. So the next piece up is practice mindfulness. How many of you know mindfulness and practices? Put in the comment section. I want to see how you do it. So the mindfulness is one of my favorite subject. So the key is, it's not something difficult. It could be hard, but it's not something difficult. So what's the key concept of being mindful? The key concept of mindful is that you don't worry about tomorrow. You have no control. You live in the present. So that's mindfulness. So if you have anxiety, register it. It's okay to be anxious. It's good to be sometimes anxious when you have exams coming or you have deadlines. That helps you, meet those. So, but when it get overwhelming, that's where when you live in the present, you don't worry about whether you're going to get COVID-19 tomorrow or your mom will get COVID-19 or your dad or grandmother. You have no control on that. What you have control on is that you wear your mask when you go out, you wash your hands, you keep your 6 feet social distancing, and you're living in the present by doing that. So it is being mindful when you're doing common sense things for what you can do for today. And it will help you reduce your anxiety if you're mindful of what's going on. The other strategy for being mindful is what I teach you in every podcast and will teach you today as well, is breathing and meditation. It helps you stay in the present. It helps you center you. The breathing, the pranayama, the exercises which I teach you. If you can do 10, 15 minutes twice a day, I taught you 4 of them, and I'll bring a new one called Kapalbhati to you today. They have been shown in different studies with functional MRIs of the brain, and that it helps you reduce your anxiety, it helps you clear up your brain, and it doesn't have any side effects. It's not like Xanax that once you get on that, you can't come off. It's a good thing to do those mindful strategies. Other trick for helping you with the anxiety is write it down. So let's say you're having a lot of anxiety that your dad is sick and it has COPD, he's a smoker. Is he going to get COVID-19? Write it down. That's what you're worried about. Once you write things down, then it comes to your conscious mind. And then you say, okay, what can I do today to help my dad? So just call him, just say, hey, Dad, I love you. My earlier strategy of staying connected. So using that strategy now, so that will calm you down that you did something about it. And say, hey, Dad, if you need grocery, let me do it for you. You don't go out. So that's the second strategy of helping your neighbors, helping your loved ones, helping your family. So now suddenly you're living in the present. You wrote down the anxiety. You wrote down what was bothering you, what was eating you up. And you did something useful for that. That's being mindful. So it's not a difficult strategy once you know what it means. And by writing your emotions, I think it's a great tool, to help you understand where you're coming from. It's good to be anxious, good to, have some anxiety. As I said, it helps us motivate, helps us understand that we got to be careful. So it's a human nature that those emotions keeps us safe. So, and then, use common sense strategy. Don't go overboard in terms of, taking precautions. You got to go outdoors. Just remember, outdoor transmission of COVID-19 is not as bad as indoor transmission. So going to movie theater, going to church, if you're a senior, I won't recommend, but going to park, going to beach, taking a walk around your block, I'll highly recommend. Put a mask on and just go out and walk and bike or whatever you want to do. Even if someone has COVID-19 passes you, you're not going to get it. There's a lot of air which dilutes the droplets outside. So again, all those things ties together, as I just alluded to you earlier. The other piece is be gentle to yourself and others. And I mentioned that in my ending of my podcast every time. And there's a reason for that. So everyone is stressed right now, whether they lost a job or they're working from home, they got a 10% pay cut. Reduce your expectation in a relationship. Don't expect your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter to be perfect at this time. Just reduce your expectations. Same thing with your colleagues. Productivity will be down. We had a virtual school with my kids, and it was hard. The teachers didn't know what to do. The kids didn't know. The parents didn't know. And the parents, the teachers were pushing a lot of homework as if they're in the school, but they were not getting the concepts. And they should have reduced the expectation at that time. But, that's a new stuff for everyone. So that's where this strategy fits in. Be kind and gentle to yourself, your colleague, your kids, you know. So let's change topics and talk about what are the other tools. There is a online therapy if you need therapy called Talkspace, and I heard decent things about them. I don't know what the pricing is, but it gives you another tool if you need someone professional to talk to, if all the other tips I've given you doesn't work. Now the other piece you can do, which is my favorite piece, is apps. If you're tech savvy, or you have already iPad, iPhone, or Android devices, you can download COVID Coach. COVID Coach is a beautiful app, or a good app, where it gives you different resources of how to cope with COVID-related anxiety. It's free. COVID Coach app is free, so download that, see if it works for you. And then the Headspace is another of my favorite app. I have it for myself too on my iPad and my iPhone. It's free for healthcare workers. I'm not sure that promotion is still on, but that's something, if you are a healthcare worker, and I know a lot of my listeners are nurses and physicians, it's free. The Headspace is free. I think the trial is still on, so download that. If you're not a healthcare worker, I think they have a lot of free trial and a lot of free stuff, but then you have to pay monthly for anything good. But they have a lot of great tools on meditating, on relaxing, on sleeping without medications. And I've tried it myself, and they've done a good job for a app. So look at that app, see if that fits with your lifestyle. Last not the least, nothing to scare you, but I think it's good to have this handy for you or your loved one. If you think they're depressed and they are end of the rope, make sure this number is handy for them. And that's a hotline, and they will walk you through if you are feeling suicidal or depressed. There is another texting app or texting you can do at 741-741. So the number is, again, 741-741. That's a texting app, not an app, but texting. So you can discuss, if you're feeling depressed or gloomy, what can you do in terms of, to get you through that gloominess. So that's another way of doing it. So that covers